to individual members. There will not be any discussion.
Good afternoon again, Commissioners. Scott Andrechak. I'm here today to talk about the grant application, Mr. Chairman, that CCU has applied for the residents of Spring Lake. There's a couple of very interesting things in here. I'm wondering if you folks have read it, because I want to know why the residents of Spring Lake are being required to clean up the Peace River, since we're nowhere near the Peace River. And over again, it talks about pollution control for the Peace River. Okay, and there's a few other things in here. One of them on page 3 here, talking about the severity of the pollutant loading created by this area adjacent to these water bodies will provide a higher concentration of pollutant removal than other areas at this time. And the reason this is a problem, Mr. Chairman, is because we have the CCU lab reports from the 60 wells throughout the Spring Lake area where there is no pollution. We also know about, and I'll enter this into the record, but they're talking about reducing all this pollutants, all these pollutants, when there isn't any pollutants. The lab reports are done by CCU, they're not done by us. And so, once again, CCU is putting forward a grant application, sir, that I think frankly embarrasses you folks, and I have to wonder how many times you're going to let them continue to embarrass you in this way. We talked about a few other things last night. Well, we talked about a few other things, not you folks. But if I read this correctly, this document says they're going to reduce 80%. 80% of the pollution is actually, sir, by digging up the grassy swales. They're going to dig up the swales, and that's going to reduce the pollution by 80%. So this whole grant, this $2 million, that I remind you is not free money. This came from taxpayers somewhere else, okay, partially from us. All of this pollution reduction is by the grassy swales, not the septic tanks, but the grassy swales. So again, over and over, CCU brings forward documents to this board that, like I said, I frankly find them to be embarrassing, and I wonder how long we're going to continue with this, because it's guaranteed to happen. As long as you keep Ms. Kuchar in office, it's going to continue to happen. And so I talked a little bit about earlier this morning, Mr. Muldoon, that genuine hero who bled and nearly died for us in defending our Constitution. Is this what he really fought for? Because this is how I think about these things. This is how people in my community think about these things. Did he go and fight for this kind of abuse of taxpayers and not defending the Constitution?
Thank you, sir.
Chairman.